You're now rotation with Loud Bites TV. I'm your host, EMP, and I got the wonderful Candace with me.
Hi, Boston.
We are celebrating Black History Month today.
Black History
Happy Black
Month.
History Month. Black Power. My mic, okay, pause the world right now.
Oh,
For
God.
some reason, I'm on TV.
Ian is going to get it together, and I'm going to help him. Let me see if I can help you
Where's
out.
my mic? My mic is here.
Let me see if I can help you out. You
Can
good?
the world hear me?
Can you guys hear
Can
him
you
now?
hear me? It looks like we're good now.
Are we good?
Who let you let me on TV like this?
I apologize.
Oh my gosh. It's not your fault. I'm a hot mess.
It was a mess, but
Hi, wonderful.
we're here now. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
It's been a crazy.
You look good.
Thank you.
You look
I
happy.
mean, you're the one who looks wonderful.
I'm just celebrating Black History Month. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so you know what we like to do is recap. How was your weekend? Your time off air? Anything cool happen? You meet anybody?
I went to the 2 Chainz concert last week. That was fun. What about you?
What happened? You can't just say where was it.
It was fun. It was at the House of Blues.
Who was there?
2 Chainz, Pusha T, August Alsina.
How you gonna just say his name like that, like you don't love him?
August Alsina.
There we go. And did you know it's Def Jam's 30th anniversary?
I didn't know that.
That was the kickoff for that, and it started here in Boston. What is our segment now?
Art throb.
The art
My
throb.
art is throbbing. Yeah.
My art, them. And who do we
Anyways,
have?
we're here with the very fantastic and wonderful Logan Jones.
Hello,
Thank you for being here, Logan.
What up, Logan?
No problem.
Is this your first time on Loud Minds?
No, it's not my first time. It's my second time on Loud Minds.
And I was doing camera for Loud Minds
You weren't doing
TV.
camera.
I was operating camera
You-
for Loud Minds TV when he was a guest on the show.
You weren't directing it?
No,
Who's
I
directing?
was floor on Taja Glover was
Oh,
your
shout out to
director.
Taja. VA. We had the DMV out here earlier too. So
All of that good
all
stuff.
of that good stuff.
So anyways, Logan, back to you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you go.
No, because I'm just going to jump right in.
Nah, go ahead.
Talk about this wonderful artwork that we're looking at.
Do we want? I just have all sorts of conversations. So let's start with Angela Davis and Logan.
Yes, let's do that since we just watched the Angela Davis piece.
Boom. Logan, how did you make this piece?
Cool. So I was blessed with the opportunity to be commissioned to do really 2 works for Angela Davis, well, for the Young People's Project that were having their annual celebration a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And I was asked to commission to do a couple pieces, and Angela autographed them, and then they were auctioned. And the proceeds went to the Young People's Project.
Can you tell me something about this area over here?
Yeah, so Angela autographed the painting. The painting was inspired by her autobiography, If They Come in the Morning, which is, it's a shorter version of her quote, if they come for me in the morning, they'll come for you in the night, which basically means, it sounds like a threat, but it's really not. It's more about us as people. The fact that if they're gonna come for me, right? If y'all don't protect me, then no one's gonna protect you.
Exactly.
We're not so different. We're not so different. Yeah.
And are you an artist in a sense?
Yeah. So I don't have an art background per se. I've been doing art my whole life.
Yeah.
So again, kind of like Tina, was that her?
Miss Patricia.
Patricia.
She told me not to call him Miss.
I know.
She talked about how her family had an art background.
Yeah.
My family is very similar. So my family, my parents and my aunts and uncles, they made sure that we were always in the arts. That's what they did to keep us busy and off the streets, that and athletics. So I went to art a couple years ago as just a positive way to spend my time. And it's something that I found that I was good at. So it was really through encouragement of other people that they liked my art, and they, always wanted, and they were requesting it. So I kept with it, and yeah.
And look how far this has gotten.
Yeah.
Now, do you
definitely.
always try to tie Black history into your artwork some way or another?
I would say definitely. I would say most of my art is inspired by what I'm reading, or what I'm listening to, the music I'm listening to. So I end up painting a lot of Black women. Actually, is one of my focuses. African art, Black history. Those are kind of my areas of focus. Music.
So you're listening to Badu when you made Badu?
I listened to a lot of
This
Erykah
is the love
Badu
of your life,
when I was
isn't it?
making
I
Badu.
won't tell you where I heard
Yeah.
that, but I did.
Yeah, so Erykah Badu is like, I think that she's like, I feel like she kind of understands, not necessarily me, but she understands, she projects a lot of a Black woman's experience. And, after you go through relationships, you can see there's a lot of irony and parody, I think, between her music and in my life and my relationships, so.
So tell us about the headpiece that she's wearing.
And you,
Okay, so I went to Africa this past summer.
give the goodies. All right, go ahead.
I went to Africa I was on a teaching fellowship, so I went to Africa for a month and change. We went to Sierra Leone to start, and then we went to Liberia and then Ghana. The purpose was to do research, and I have a blog that I'm gonna be launching, so I'll give you the URL as soon as that happens. But we did research, traveled. In Ghana, one of the main things we were doing was collecting culture. So the head wrap it's a tradition Ghanaian pattern, kente pattern. It's an Ashanti pattern, I believe. And it means I've exhausted my skills, basically. I've exhausted my thoughts. The piece is called Wrap Your Head with This Material. And the head wrap, the artist who made the kente, basically, this was him not giving up. It was basically, he reached a point where he said, all right, this is the best design I can do.
Wow.
So with this piece, this is actually it's actually 12 feet tall. If you stand it up, there's 4 sections to this painting. This is just the first section, the head section.
Wow.
It's really, really tall.
Yeah, it's really tall.
And I was blessed to see you while you were putting in creation. Now,
Thanks.
I really want to go back to Africa, but I don't want to forget this piece. How long did it take you to finish all 4 panels?
It's hard to say, really.
Yeah.
I just took it slow, a little bit at a time, and it was more of like I think a therapeutic.
And that's
it was
what I
my
wanted to get
post-Africa experience where I got back, and this is one of the things that I was doing to kind of, I guess, I wasn't depressed when I got back to America, but it was definitely a reverse culture shock.
So let's speak about that. You said this depression, right? And you don't want to use that word, but explain that emotion when you went, experienced, and came back. Actually describe that, because the people don't know. Not a lot of people are as fortunate as us to travel out our households and our communities.
All right.
Explain that experience.
Cool. So I got the opportunity to go to Africa through a teaching fellowship. So it was me and 2 of my best friends that I taught with at English high school, and we got a teaching fellowship through this program called Fun for Teachers, and we wrote a grant, went over to Africa. And what was the question again?
So experience, because you were speaking. All right. See, I don't want to give it away because I know it, and I was there too.
Oh, my culture
Exactly.
shock. Oh, yeah. So in Boston Public Schools or in the state of Massachusetts, you take US 1 and US 2, right? Those are your first 2 years. US 1, you learn basically
Christopher Columbus.
you was a slave,
yeah.
right? And US 2, you learn you got freed, basically. You know, Martin Luther King. You know, you were a slave and then Martin Luther King, right? So there's a lot there that's missing,
Yes.
right? And you end up losing the perception of Africa. You end up losing this, you have no real identity as an African, where really we're African, you know? And I'll tell my students, you know, way darker than me, you're African. They say, no, I'm not, you know, and we'd argue back and forth about it. And so I went to Africa to basically connect so that I could show them that Africa's a place you should be proud of, and you should know more than anything that's where you're from, that's where your ancestors are from, even though your ancestors, your family may have been here for 200, 100, 150, 200, 300 years. That's your origin, that's where you're from, and there's so much valuable information, and there's so much culture, and it's such a beautiful place that.
Can't
It's
describe
somewhere you
that
should be proud of.
experience.
And also, like, you know, we're used to, it's crazy, it's a crazy experience being a black man in America, right? Because if you're in a situation where you're just surrounded by black folk, I mean, everywhere you look, right? Thousands, hundreds, you know? It's something that you can't experience, you can't really experience that in America.
Yeah.
I don't want Africa to seem like it's so inaccessible. It's very accessible. It costs money to get over there.
Yeah.
I think a plane ticket's like $1,500, you know, and that's just sacrifice. That could be putting aside a little bit of money every month, you know, and you're there, and you can stay there for a month because it doesn't cost that much to live there.
You're a king when you land.
You're absolutely a king. You're a king before you got there,
Yeah.
but
Thank you.
but you might have more of a feeling of it.
So a lot of men your age probably aren't even thinking about going to Africa, so I think it's really cool that you went. How has that experience changed you as a person?
I would say it's changed everything. definitely my work where I see myself in the future. I see myself as a global citizen, not tied to my hood or my area where I was born. I see myself as someone who could travel the world.
Yeah.
And I see possibilities, definitely. I'm currently working on a clean water project that's in northern Ghana. It's called Community Water Solutions. And I've been meeting with them tomorrow, actually. and they're bringing clean water to villages who never had clean water or who don't have clean water. So it's really bringing life. It's allowing people to live longer and prevent disease and things like that. So it's really, really cool work.
So when I did see you on social media before you disappeared, you had a lot of different clothing similar to what you have on now. Did you bring that back home with you, the jewelry and everything?
So
and
definitely.
describe what you bring as well.
Okay, so I got this dashiki in Ghana, and
Look at them cheesy.
He misses it. You miss home.
and yeah, so when I was in Africa, I gave away a lot of clothes. I was giving stuff away to everybody because they didn't have as much, and it felt good, and so my plan was that when I got to Ghana, I was gonna get fresh, go buy all this. So that's pretty much what I did. So I got a lot of dashikis, and it's more of my summer attire.
I was about to say,
I didn't get any winter.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
It's always something different.
Yeah.
Like, you came back with a whole new
sure.
wardrobe.
Exactly. That's what it really
Right.
was.
However, I'm trying to definitely reconnect, and business-wise, back to Ghana. I have a friend who they started a NGO or a nonprofit called Royal Dynamite, and what they do is a 1-for-1. So anytime you buy a T-shirt,
They match it
with the educational package for a child in Sierra Leone.
Dope.
So that's bringing education to Sierra Leone. So all the projects I'm doing is really humanitarian work, or it's really humanitarian work, but it's all tied to business as well. So that you don't have to beg anyone for money. You can make money and also help people.
Boom.
Yeah.
You got any hot boxes?
Of course I do.
Drop them in.
What's your favorite book regarding Black history?
My
Sorry.
favorite
Good
book.
one. Because this is the book, man. He's always
I
throwing
know.
books at me. Not throwing the book at me.
Well,
but
you have to pick one.
just one.
All right. Just one book?
Just one.
And we're running out of time.
And I have 2 more questions, so you got to think fast.
It had to be Malcolm X. Autobiography
Okay.
of Malcolm X.
Perfect.
Would you rather read or paint?
I would rather read.
Read?
Okay.
As a Black man, what do you want to be known for?
I want to be a great father.
I don't think I've ever heard a black
I
man say
wasn't
that.
expecting
Yeah?
that at
No,
all.
I've
Oh
never
my
heard
gosh.
that. And you're talking to a fatherless son right here, you know what I mean? So
all
that
good.
means everything to me.
I thought you
You
were
gonna
about
get
to
it.
say you're talking to a father. I was going to say I knew you
I
had
have a
that.
dog. I have Charlie. Shout out to you, Charlie. I love my dog. I walked him this morning. I'll walk him out the show. All right, we're running out of time. How do people stay in contact with you?
They can't. He doesn't have social media.
All right, cool.
I'm not
That's
on
cool.
social media right now.
You got to catch him on the wave.
So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I know how to get in contact with you. Y'all got any questions, holla at me. And I'll be the bridge for Logan. Boom. That's the king right there. You know the gate is up. Moats, you drown. So whatever. Anything about Beyond Measures before you go?
Oh yeah, Beyond Measure Productions. We're premiering our web series
That Candace
called
got
The
her 10
Halls,
minutes
and
of
Candace is in it.
fame.
It's called The Halls. You can go to thehallsboston.com, thehallsboston.com, and you can see the trailer. You can see the website. There's going to be premiere on the
seen the
21st,
billboards
and then on the
everywhere.
25th, the first episode comes up. There's going to be 2 episodes a week. This is a big project. You'll see billboards around the city
I
for
have
it.
seen 'em everywhere.
A lot of the actors and actresses, they're former Boston Public School students, Boston Arts Academy, etc., English High School. So please support Beyond Measure.
Excited.
Y'all can follow Beyond Measure Films on Instagram, Beyond Measure Films on Twitter. I think either that or Beyond Measure TV.
Thank you for being here, Logan.
Thank you for having me.